Good morning, my name is Byron Drew from Weather Commerce, and this is this morning's weather brief on Monday, the 31st of October. Today's weather briefing will include details of the West European 5-day average temperature summary, the UK, Europe, Scandinavian precipitation, and global weather alerts. We'll start with a summarized look of your West European 5-day average temperatures, and temperatures could be as much as 4 or even 6 degrees above climate norms through central portions of Europe and the UK over the next 2 to 5 days, while temperatures through Italy and Austria remain closer to average, although possibly just slightly above average as well. And through days 6 to 10, temperatures in Central Europe and the UK will once again remain above average by about 2 or even 3 degrees Celsius, while Austria and Spain will remain near average. Temperatures are expected to drop nearer to climate average through days 11 and 15, particularly through Spain, Italy and Germany, where near average temperatures are expected, while the UK, France and Switzerland will remain 1 or 2 degrees above climate average, and Austria will remain 3 or 4 degrees below climate average. And now for a look at the UK in some closer detail. And through days 11 and 15, confidence levels are high given good model agreement and consistency for temperatures to trend 1 to 3 degrees above climate average. It is important to note that the sharp dip in temperatures in both previous GFS deterministic models is considered to be a cool outlier after day 14 and is ignored. Between days 6 and 10, temperatures will drop from 5 or 6 degrees above climate average to 2 or 3 degrees above climate average by November the 6th, with a distinct and significant cooling trend before the weekend of the 5th and 6th. And in the short term, despite a significant temperature fluctuation across the majority of the UK through the midweek period, temperatures are expected to remain well above average across the UK through the next 2 to 5 days. The 5-day average sea level pressure chart indicates the reason for this warming nicely, with the low pressure system off the northwest of the UK and the high pressure system in Eastern Europe providing a warm air mass throughout the course of the 2 to 5 day period. And now for a closer look at the European temperature forecast. Through days 11 and 15, the majority of Europe will remain between 0 and 2 degrees above climate average, with the exception of Austria that will remain between 3 and 4 degrees below climate average through that period. The latest France model comparison graph helps to illustrate that point nicely, with the majority of the available forecast models, including my particular temperature forecast indicated by the red line, indicating temperatures expected to trend between 0 and 2 degrees above climate norms, with some model divergence between the GFS deterministic and ensemble models. Temperatures are expected to remain near average through Spain and Austria through days 6 and 10, while the majority of the rest of Europe will remain between 1 and 3 degrees above climate norm. The latest France model comparison graph helps to illustrate that point, with good model agreement and consistency resulting in medium to high confidence levels for temperatures to trend 1 to 3 degrees above climate average. Through days 2 and 5, the majority of Europe will remain well above average, although temperatures will be slightly cooler and approach climate average in Italy and Austria, while in Central Europe, temperatures are expected to range from between 4 and 6 degrees above climate average. Once again, the latest France model comparison graph helps to illustrate that point nicely, with good model agreement and consistency providing high levels of forecast confidence for a gradual but significant warming trend resulting in temperatures warming to approximately 5 degrees above climate norms by the 3rd of November, before gradually beginning to cool off once again. And now for a look at the precipitation forecast across Scandinavia over the next 10 to 15 days. While below average precipitation totals are expected in most parts of Sweden and Finland over the next 10 to 15 days, with most parts expecting less than 10 millimeters of rainfall, while well above average precipitation totals are expected along the coast of Norway and predominantly onshore winds. And now onto global weather alerts, where below average temperatures are expected in many western parts of the United States, as well as along the eastern seaboard, with warmer weather expected elsewhere over the next 7 to 10 days, with average to above average precipitation totals expected in many central and northern parts. Significantly above average precipitation totals are expected in the southern portions of China, as well as in the coastal areas around Beijing over the next 7 to 10 days, with significant rainfall totals expected to persist in many southern parts in the slightly longer term as well. Despite this, temperatures are expected to be above average to well above average in most parts of China and in the north in particular. There is the potential for above average to well above average precipitation over the western and northwestern parts of Australia over the next 7 to 10 days, with with over 50 or 60 millimeters of rainfall expected in parts of the northwest. With the increased cloud cover and precipitation significantly stunting temperatures in the northwest, where below average temperatures are expected, the east coast of Australia will also see below average temperatures for this time of year over the next 7 to 10 days. And finally, in South America, we expect above average to well above average precipitation totals for central and northern Brazil, with over 100 millimeters of rainfall expected in parts, with temperatures in the north averaging between 25 and 30 degrees Celsius, and temperatures below average to well below average over the southern and southeastern portions of Brazil over the next 7 to 10 days. And that's all for today's weather brief. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.